Hello again, it's Clinton, and I'm back with more Destiny. Today we're looking at the Thorn and some Thorn gameplay, and my burning question for this episode is, what is the best sort of secondary perk to use with Thorn? I'm speaking specifically about Send It and Perfect Balance. Now, just for review, the Thorn has a bunch of the usual handling characteristic upgrades. They are accurized ballistics, field choke, and aggressive ballistics. These are largely preferential. I tend to go for aggressive ballistics on my hand cannons. Then we have a unique perk for Thorn. This is final round. The last round in magazine deals bonus damage. And then in the fourth branch of the talent tree, we have the sort of more unique perks. Not unique perks, but these are sort of like you can find these across many different legendaries and exotics. First we have Snapshot, aiming this weapon is incredibly fast. Then we have Send It, increased range and accuracy. And finally we have Perfect Balance, the weapon has extremely low recoil. And of course we have the signature perk for Thorn, which is Mark of the Devourer. And this is the damage over time, otherwise known as DOT. Rounds pierce targets and cause lingering damage over time. So you poison people and you watch their health tick away slowly. So we're going to focus more on Send It and Perfect Balance because I think these two totally outclass Snapshot. I really don't see a huge advantage in taking Snapshot over Send It or Perfect Balance. Now, so we get into a discussion of range and accuracy versus recoil control, stability. And in the background now, I'm showing you a game in, we're in Firebase Delphi, and it's just a game of Clash. Unfortunately, I don't have any control footage, and I do think that's a consideration when choosing your perks for this gun. But we just have Clash, and this in Firebase Delphi, which is a more close-in map, more close range. So I'm actually equipping Perfect Balance on the Thorn in this match. And later on, I'm going to skip to another match. It's on Exodus Blue, and I have Send It equipped for that match. I kind of bring up this topic not to provide any definitive conclusions. I'm still trying to figure out what the go-to perk for this gun should be. Obviously, because you can change it at any time, it's situational, and it's largely going to be dictated by the situation and your playstyle. So initially I thought Send It is going to be the way to go because I want to stay at range. I'm a more hang back and pick off people type of player. So with the Mark of the Devourer of damage over time, you can sort of reach out and touch someone, poison them, and hopefully get more kills that way. You're sort of out of harm's way a lot more often, and you're just picking people off and tagging them with your poison darts, essentially. On the other side of the coin, right, you have Perfect Balance, which is really going to help you maintain accuracy in the closer range engagements. And looking at all the maps we have available in Destiny, most of the maps are going to be more close range. And even if you're going to be hanging back a lot, like I try to do, you're going to get into many situations where enemy players will be able to close that gap pretty regularly. And the map design dictates that, you know, you're just going to be in the more mid-range, close range. Even though, you know, you may try to be keeping distance, right? And that's gonna really be the case as well if you're playing control. You know, if you're gonna be playing the objectives, you're gonna be hanging around those control points, you know, a fair amount of time. So let's see here. With the Perfect Balance, which I have in the gameplay right now, I didn't really notice a huge difference at the start, and I even have equipped on my gunslinger the Chain of Woe, which increases, not the Chain of Woe, sorry, Gunslinger's Trance, and this increases stability with every precision kill. So even with that, combined with the increased recoil, the better recoil provided by Perk Balance, I didn't really notice a huge difference at the start, but in contrast, as I played more with it, and in comparison with Send It does make a difference. It feels snappier, the gun feels snappier, and keep in mind the Thorn actually fires quite quickly, right? And if you're going to be firing quickly, you want to take advantage of the better stability control provided by Perfect Balance, right? Here now we've fast forwarded to a different match, just on Exodus Blue, a much roomier map compared to Firebase Delphi, and here I've tried out the Send It perk on Thorn. The thing that makes it tricky sometimes when judging stability versus other advantages on your gun is stability is not the same on hand cannons as, say, an auto rifle, right? Taking auto rifle like the Suez Regime or the Shadow Price, both these guns have very good stability, and when you're auto firing down, while looking through a reflex scope or a red dot sight, is a totally different thing than trying to judge the stability on a hand cannon. Of course, hand cannons, you're always limited to the iron sights down the barrel of your gun, and even if you get the stability really good, like on the Thorn, once you have the Perfect Balance, the stability is nearly maxed out, but you're still gonna get this baseline kick. There's gonna be a minimum effect from shooting your gun rapidly. The barrel's always gonna kick up, but it's this very subtle difference of when the barrel kicks up and it resets back to center, right? Now, when you're talking about max stability on an auto rifle, it is a very different feeling. Like, you can just hold down the trigger and the red dot on your sight will barely deviate from where you're trying to aim. So keep that in mind, that it's a much more subtle effect when you have maximum stability control on your hand cannon versus on, say, a scout rifle or auto rifle. To be honest, looking at the footage now, it's really hard to see a difference. Sometimes I think I have Perfect Balance equipped right now, but I actually just have Send It. So it is really comes down to, I hate to be so beige sometimes, but it really comes down to your personal preference. After playing some more since these matches, I've come to sort of lean towards Perfect Balance. Even when I'm playing PvE, I played a fair amount of PvE as well over the past week and a half to 2 weeks. I've played the weekly and nightfall strikes using the Thorn, and even in those environments, I'm finding that I don't need that extra range provided by Send It, and I would rather much have the rock solid stability provided by not only the Perfect Balance, but stacked up with my Gunslinger's Trance. It's coming quite handy because engagements may start sort of at like a longer range, but very soon targets get close. You have thralls rushing in, you have knights that sort of start meandering closer towards where you're taking cover, and that extra range advantage eventually doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. You'll notice in this match that I do take shots at people that are farther away, and then I am seeming to nail a couple more headshots than I did back in the Firebase Delphi match, where there were a couple times where I thought I tagged guys at the end of that hallway, and I didn't get headshots, and instead I just got body shots, and I think they managed to get away. Now I just quickly want to talk about the difference between, say, playing Clash and Control. I think when it comes to Control, having the Thorn and taking advantage of that Mark of the Devourer damage over time is going to be more effective. Send It, it's sometimes not always necessary to just kill a guy outright. If you can take the guy out of a fight, he's gonna be afraid to engage, right? So once he's poisoned, he's gonna be hiding. He's gonna take him out of the fight. He's not gonna be pushing on a zone as hard. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So the video is pretty much done, out of footage. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. I hope you found this somewhat useful. So take care. I'll see you.